video that came out was not the whole that was not the whole situation, because I stood there for close to 15 minutes. I was the one who stood there for the longest time, because people entered and came out after 2 minutes.
Okay.
But I was there for 15 minutes. But the video is about 2 minutes, the viral video, because they decided to pick pieces where I was fumbling. I wasn't able to control myself.
Hello and welcome to Broad Daylight with me, Prismore. Happy New Year to you, my cherished viewer. You've been so amazing for the past years, and we cherish you for being a part of CMJ TV. Actually, it's my prayer that you increase on every side this particular year. My guest for today is Albert Nat Hyde, aka Bongo Ideas. Oh my goodness. He's a blogger, a social media enthusiast, and a journalist. He's popularly known as Journalist Albert. In fact, he made waves with a specific issue, which we'll be talking about today as well. Welcome, Albert.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm
Why are you
well.
laughing? And the
Well,
intro, no, on.
no, it's they are speaking facts, so yeah.
Oh, aye. You won't
Kind
kill
of-
person with
kind
this
of
your fact.
fancy, yeah.
I see. All right. So you're welcome to Broad Daylight.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you too. We are glad you came. So, how do you see journalism practicing in Ghana? Are we doing the right thing since you were a journalist?
No, I think we are trying, we are doing some of the right things, but there's room for improvement, and I think journalism should be community focused.
Okay.
Usually it is about national issues, and then we relegate the communities, but everything starts from the community. So I think journalism it is improving, it is getting better, but there's more room for improvement.
Okay. Okay. So you think we should focus more on the community?
Yeah.
But we do it, Wana.
Community journalism is not really, it's not a thing in Ghana.
Really?
We don't have community. I'm not sure it is a thing in Ghana. It is usually about national issues. We don't really focus on communities. We don't really have community radio stations and television stations, and even if you have, they are mostly focused on national issues. So things happening in the community, usually they don't really focus on that. So they focus on national issues. But if you are to take journalism to the next level, then we need to focus on community issues. Community issues. We should have community radio stations. We should have community TV stations that will really project what the communities are facing.
So you as an individual and as a journalist as well, what role are you playing to making sure that this particular idea of yours becomes something that people could see change from your side?
Well, on that front, I'm not really doing much, because it involves a lot, and it can take an individual to really accomplish on that front. What I usually do is speak about societal issues,
Okay.
things bothering people, from rent to corruption to unemployment to stuff like that. Things that are bothering people, and they are really thinking about it, and that is what I talk about. But for the community stuff, I think it need a really concerted effort, where because it involves a lot of logistics and money and all that. So I don't think I can do it on my own. So for now, what I can do is talk about societal issues, try to use the kind of, let me say, attention I've got. I need to use it to push something, to push an agenda, and make sure something comes out of it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Interesting. Do you think our freedom as journalists is being trampled upon in this under this current government?
Well, when you're talking about stuff like that, you need to be very careful, because you may be speaking the truth, but you may be if you're not careful, you may be stepping on toes and trying to be very political. But I think we have the index, free press index, and we have the surveys and all that. So I don't think the freedom that journalists enjoy in Ghana has been really trampled upon. But I think there are some kind of blocks that are not really helping journalists to be vocal, to be free to air their views on issues. I think journalists are a bit hesitant to speak on some issues, and that is what I think.
So when you say blocks, what specifically do you mean by the
Well,
blocks?
when I compare during the time of Mahama or Atamils to this period, I think journalists are a bit relaxed.
Okay.
They are not too let me say they are not too vociferous. They are not um, too loud. They are a bit measured in what they want to say. They pick and choose what they want to talk about. They don't want to step on toes. They don't want to offend the government and all that. So that is my personal observation, because I know a lot of journalists during the time of Mahama and Atamus, they were very loud. But for now, they are a bit relaxed. They don't really want to get involved. And I think there may be some political dealings and blocks.
So you think the political blocks are preventing journalists coming out fully?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't okay. What of some of the big people in journalism who have been given political appointments, ministerial positions?
Yeah,
Kwame
it's
Sifaka,
yeah.
Jefferson Saki, and then
It is
Paula
obvious. It
Omochiri.
is obvious when you take such positions, it reveals your political affiliations, and it hampers you from trying to speak truth to power as a journalist. So what I know is, as a political party, when you take control of the media, you take control of the country. So I think it is a plan. It is something that has been planned by, I don't know whether the MPPs. I think they are really trying to take over the media. When you take over the media, you'll be able to control the country. So they are picking a lot of prominent people and they're giving them positions. So when they give you position, I don't think you try to criticize them like the way you used to do, because that is where you're getting your money from. So you'll be a bit measured in what you want to say. So I think it's not really good. It is not really positive, because we need journalists that are open-minded. They don't have any kind of political affiliations, and they need to push for others to follow. But I think those who have gone for the positions are really not helping, and it is not something I should encourage.
Interesting. So does that mean that if somebody is being given a ministerial appointment, the person should reject or decline if the person is a journalist? Is that what you're saying?
No, if you want to be a journalist, you should be a journalist. If you want to be a politician, you should be a politician.
So you shouldn't combine the two.
No, the moment you combine the two, you see, um, the community sees journalists as a bridge between the people and the duty bearers. So they expect that what they can say, you say it for them.
Okay.
What they can project, you project it for them. So when you go for such political positions, they will think, no, this guy is not really going to speak for us. He's going to speak for the party and do the bidding of the party. So I think if you're a journalist and you want to be a politician, you should be a politician. You shouldn't combine the two.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't combine the two, because it's going to affect the way you deliver your work.
So in your post on is it Twitter or Facebook, you made mention of the fact that in this particular year, youth of this country should be partakers of national discourse. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think the youth are a
Are we
bit.
sleeping?
Yeah, I will
Upon
not
the
say
face the
sleeping.
country?
No, I will not say sleeping, but we are not so active.
Upon all the
In
face the country.
no, fix the country is a positive one, but
Okay.
we need to do more. I think we need to do more. The youth are more relaxed. They are more concerned about entertainment. They are more into sports, but they don't really contribute to um, national issues. And when I follow discussions on social media, I see that, I mean, people are really pumped up when it comes to celebrities, when it comes to entertainment, but when it comes to political issues or societal issues, they have little to say. I don't know whether they don't read on it or something, but they have really little to say. They don't have a lot of interest in that. So I think that we should be, you see, the youth in the country are a lot. I mean, they form the majority of the people. So I think when we come together, we can push for a lot of positive stuffs and a lot of positive change, and we are not doing that at the moment.
Is it because we are fed up with quote unquote lies? People think that the certain government or even previous governments have been lying to us all over the years.
When they are lying to you, what should you do? I think you
What
should.
can you do?
I think you should. You shouldn't sit down for it to be lied to. You know the truth, so you should speak truth to power. That's what you should be doing. Because when the leaders realize that, I mean, these youth, they are more concerned about sports. They are more concerned about entertainment. That is what they will give to you. And when they know that when corruption issues come up, they are not really concerned about it, and they will just talk about it for a day or two and just relax. So I think we should push. We shouldn't sit down for the duty bearers to do what they want. I think we should be really involved in what is happening in the country.
I see. What would be your advice to the sitting president, especially as we've begun a new year?
He should do what he promised Ghanaians.
Why hasn't he built the factories, one district, one factories?
I don't think he has done enough.
Really?
I think he
Or
has
all the
done.
free education?
Free education is a good thing, but it has a lot of challenges.
Tell me more.
And it has a lot of challenges. We are all aware: accommodation to classrooms to tuition to everything. So it is not a bad thing, but I think it wasn't rolled out at the right time. It wasn't rolled out with enough preparations and all that. But because it was a key driver for his campaign, 2016 campaign, so he implemented it, and it has a lot of challenges. So I think he has promised Ghanaians a lot of things, and he needs to deliver. He what the what the government does is to talk and try to do a lot of PR about what they do, but when you go on the ground, so you realize things are not really going as expected, especially with the economy and then corruption and youth unemployment and all that. So I think you should just deliver. Enough of the talks, enough of the PR, enough of the explanations. You should just do the work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we take a particular character like Teacher Kojo, I believe that you have seen some of the things he was doing for children, trying to make sure that the children are comfortable, giving them uniforms and other things that will make them feel okay in school. This is a case that per their own I don't know facts they brought out, they've dismissed him from GS has actually taken him off his teaching field. What will you make of this particular statement or this particular situation?
Well, when it came up, I felt really bad for him because I knew he has done a lot, he has contributed a lot, and he has really helped a lot of students. So I felt a bit bad for him, but I, I mean, when I got the explanation from GAS, it was a bit about professional misconduct. So I don't know. I can't really blame GAS or blame him, but I think if there's a professional misconduct, then you need to face the consequences. And for me, I think it was a bit harsh because they should have considered what he has been doing for the school, he has been doing for students, and the kind of um, positive change that he has been pushing in the school. But I thought he was targeted, and he was thrown out, and it wasn't fair. But for the professional misconduct, we can't really blame GAS because they need to go according to lay down procedures, and
Okay.
that is what they did.
So this brings me to another question. He said he was targeted. That means that anybody who rise in the country to speak truth will be targeted.
I think he was targeted, but there was also a professional misconduct. I think
And the professional misconduct they brought out, they say he has been absented. He has absented himself from school for 55 days. He hasn't been writing lesson notes. So he also came to rebut that statement with saying that he had a deal with the school
mhm.
where he's supposed to go for ambassadorial deals for the school and the community. So upon the headmaster seeing what he is doing, he told him never to come to school on Friday so that he can go and do those deals and bring improvement to the community and the school as a whole. That is what he also said. And then per the lesson notes, the headmaster asked him to write it, and he decided to type. And the headmaster didn't want to mark the typed one. You see the country we find ourselves
Well, that is it. I think for me, I think the part that he got it wrong was ranting on social media about how he was being treated. I thought, I mean, when you feel a bit when you feel unhappy about a situation, you shouldn't come on social media and trying to rant about it, especially when you belong to a professional body. You can speak to them and try to deal with that. But I believe because he's popular, so he came online to rant, and I think that was the last straw that broke the camel's back, and GES felt like he was trying to bring out very exclusive information to the public. So I thought that was when they decided to target him.
okay.
So the least mistake, then he was I mean he was set up to be sacked or relief of his duty. So that's what I think. And as I think when you belong to a professional body, you should just do as you should just follow the laid down procedures. I think when you have grievances, they have laid down procedures that you need to follow. You shouldn't come on social media or because you feel you're a public figure, so you come to court public sympathy and try to rant about your displeasure. I think you should just reach out to people, reach out to the professional body, and get things done. On the side of teacher Kwejo, I think he got some of the things wrong, and I also think GS also did not treat him fairly.
Okay.
And I think he will learn from his mistakes, and GES will also try to work on the way they treat teachers, and they need to be a bit smooth with them. Yeah.
Okay. Are you a bully?
What do you mean by that?
Do you bully people?
What do you mean by bully people?
Ah.
I don't bully people.
Okay.
I don't bully people. I try to suppress them, try to beat them, and nah, I
No,
don't
no
do that.
beating.
So which kind of bully are you talking about?
Okay. Emotional bully.
Well, I don't see myself as a cyber bully or an emotional bully or anything, but that is the tag that has been placed on me by what happened on GH1, and so
So what's actually happening?
I don't see myself as a cyber bully. I went for an auditions, and
Why did you go for the audition?
I went there because I wanted to get an information for a blog post. So I've gone for a lot of interviews, and that was the reason. It wasn't because I wanted to be an STV star, because I was working as a blogger and I was making my own money. So and if I had wanted to go into mainstream media, I'd wanted to do radio, not TV. So I went there because I wanted to pick an information. Bloggers sometimes thrive on gossip and information and other. So I went there, disguised myself as one of the participants. So to get the information, but it turned out to turn out that, I mean, they got a lot of information about me and they used it against me.
Now, per the information they brought out, I watched an interview between Bridget Toto and then Paula Domotri. She said that when you came to the DH1 premises, you were actually running your mouth outside. So somebody came inside to give them the info that there is somebody there making noise. So they fetched your name for them. So instantly they went to your social media handles and find out all this.
I wasn't running my mouth. I was just there because I saw a lot of people who were really eager to be TV stars. So most of them, they are going for the first time. So a lot of them were anxious, they were nervous and all that. So I was trying to calm them down. So I think that was what they saw as running my mouth. I wasn't really running my mouth. I saw two Twitter influencers, and I made a noise. I made, oh, what's up, and all that. So I think that was when the attention came on me, and it felt like, who is this person? So let's try to work on his background and see. So that was the thing.
What actually happened in there?
Well, it is out there for all of us to see, but the video that came out was not the whole that was not the whole situation, because I stood there for close to 15 minutes. I was the one who stood there for the longest time, because people entered and came out after 2 minutes.
Okay.
But I was there for 15 minutes. But the video is about 2 minutes, the viral video, because they decided to pick pieces where I was fumbling. I wasn't able to control myself. I wasn't
Why were you
I
fumbling?
wasn't able to speak properly, and they tried to put it out there. But if you should look at the full video, you will know that that was not what really transpired. A lot really transpired. I was able to talk to them. We were able to have it back and forth and all that. But they decided not to bring everything out. I was fumbling because that was not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to be I wasn't expecting them to bring out tweets and things that I've written about them. I felt when I entered, I thought they would be using independent judges, maybe random people.
Okay.
I didn't know they would be using Anaba and Sewa and Bridget. So when I entered and I saw them, I felt like, wow, these people have been writing. I felt like at that moment, I felt like things were going to go wrong for me. I just felt it in my spirit, and it really paralyzed me, and that was what was visible in the video.
Why do you write the kind of things you write about people?
I didn't. Well, they'll see it as untruth and all that, but for me, I think I believe in conviction, and when I write with conviction. I don't write because I want to make others feel bad about themselves. I write because I know that what I'm writing is true. And what I'm writing is the hard truth that people don't want to hear. So I just write it and move on. Some may be, fact. We have fact. When it comes to fact, we have half truth and we have truth. So some may be half truth and some may be truth, but I just write about people and just move on.
I know of a specific ethic of journalism that you are supposed to check, and check again before you post or write anything you are supposed to write. So when you tell me half truth,
Well, it may be truth, but the person may deem it as half truth. What I mean by half truth is we all have perceptions and assumptions, and sometimes you may get an exclusive information about someone, but that may not be the entire truth. So when I get information about Sarkodie has maybe attacked someone, that is the information, but maybe Sarkodie was triggered. Maybe the person said something to Sarkodie, but I did not get that part of the fact. So that is half truth, and we have the full truth. So that is what I mean. And as our work as bloggers, it is a bit different from journalists.
okay.
It is a bit different
So
because bloggers are our mind is really focused on
negatives.
no,
Mm-hmm.
our mind is really focused on just writing what we need to write.
Agenda.
Oh no.
Negativity. I don't know why they are so okay and confident when blogging negative issues, defaming the names of people. I mean, why?
I know it's the word defame because nobody would like to be defamed, and that is not what bloggers do. Bloggers just provide the news, and that is what the people want. So we give them what they want, and it is about niches. So as a blogger, I can choose to write about technology. That is what people want. I can choose to write about health. That is what people want, and I can choose to write about gossips or entertainment news. So I don't think it is about defaming people. It's just about giving people what they want, and that is what we do. And it may be negative, it may be positive, but that is what we do.
How did you feel away from that? How did you feel when you were being kind of humiliated in front of the three judges?
It was not a humiliation.
Okay, were they speaking facts?
I think they had to do what they were supposed to do, and that was they got me. So that was what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to send a certain signal to people out there that when you're on social media and you're trying to, and you write about people, you one day meet them, and that may be the consequence. So you just need to be very careful about what you do on social media. So that was what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to make a very strong statement about comments you make on social media, and I came at the right time. I presented myself.
As a living sacrifice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was on the platter and I was sliced into half. Yeah, so that's what happened.
You were what?
I was sliced into half. Yeah.
You know that you made a statement that after the whole show, one another person got a broomstick, but was a camera stick.
Yeah. When I went to meet Bolari, the woman came to apologize, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay,
So,
tell me about Bolari. What happened? What transpired between? What was the deal?
the day was to be a cyberbully ambassador,
And what?
and also it was to work with them, um, to join their sports team, and also to write on their website, because they felt I was a good writer. So they had wanted to give me that opportunity, but they had wanted to focus on the cyberbully.
Okay.
They wanted to focus on the cyberbully, tell people it was cyberbully, but behind it, they wanted to give me an opportunity, but I declined it
Why?
because my family didn't feel positive about it. They weren't in support of it, and I also felt like it wasn't right for me to go for it. People would think it is a huge opportunity because it is GH1, but I didn't want to be known as a cyberbully because I was going to be a cyberbully ambassador. So that means we were once a cyberbully, but I see myself not as a cyberbully. So when you go for such deals, it will be a tag that will be on you forever. And I didn't want to be known as a cyberbully. And my family felt what happened in the video, I wasn't treated well, even though I also was to be blamed for everything that happened. So I felt like let me just focus on my blogging because after I'm okay. So that's it.
So when the story came, Kelvin Taylor also spoke about it. I
Yeah.
think he was on your side. He even wanted to give you an offer,
hmm
and you came out to say what?
Kelvin Taylor reached out to me through his producer,
Okay.
and that was the long and short of it. I didn't hear from them again. So I felt like it was just at the moment he wanted to speak about the issue, and that was it. But reached out to me once,
Mm-hmm.
and
What did they say?
they said they wanted to give me an opportunity. They wanted to pay me in dollars and all that, and they wanted to use what happened. They wanted to turn it into something positive. So they wanted me to join the team. So I said, oh, okay, that's cool.
So you didn't decline the
I
offer.
didn't decline. We even spoke about how much I'll be paid and all that, but that was just it. But when I reached out to the guy who called, he said because I went to meet Bolari, so they felt
Okay.
that was
That I think that is what I was about telling you.
okay.
So when you went to meet Bolare, you declined their offer. Did you go back to him and tell him that you didn't take his offer or something?
No, I didn't go back. I was just there. I was just there waiting for them to reach out.
No, you should have told them.
Well, they saw everything, and even before Bolare came in, they didn't really talk to me again after the first day. So I felt like they weren't really serious about it. So I just had to move on.
Is it that they weren't serious or they felt betrayed?
Betrayed, I went to
Yeah.
Bolare. For me, I went to Bola because I didn't know what was in store for me. They called me. I was there, and another called me and said they learned I've lost my job, and that was not what they wanted to happen. So I should come to the office. Bolare wanted to meet me and talk about issues. So I didn't know they wanted to make me a cyberbully and they wanted to give me a job. But when I went, they told me, and I maybe that was why Kelvin Taylor pulled away from reaching out to me. And
You know, it's like when you are praying for an open door and the door opens and you don't know what to do.
well, that was not the situation. I was for the Bolare for the
Not the
Kelvin Taylor one, I was also hesitant because I felt it was a bit risky. It was a bit political, and he was targeted. So if you associate yourself with such a brand, you may be targeted also, because some of the things that he says are really strong and they are really piercing. So if people who feel very emotional or feel very bad about what Kelvin Taylor does, and they realize that you're also working for him, they may target you. And what I realized was all those working for Kelvin Taylor in Ghana, they are not known. They are secret people. So the guy who even called me said they were secret people. Nobody knows them. So it was risky on my part to be out there and be known as working for Kelvin Taylor. It would be very risky.
So even if he reach out to you right now and tell you that okay, I'm reconsidering the fact that you went to Bolare and I want you back, still you would decline.
I'll really think about it, and I'll make a final decision. It is about getting to the river and knowing whether to cross it or not.
Okay, so you getting to the river and knowing whether you will cross or not. Right now, he is not reaching out, and you think they need you or you need them.
I think that stage has passed by. I don't think they'll come back. I just think we've all moved on. The wave has died off, and everybody is moving on, and that is what I think is happening right now.
What is your relationship between your former boss at his DH base?
Yeah.
What is your relationship with him? It's a new year, my dear. Please.
We are cool, but we are not as cool as we used to be.
Why did he fire you? Did he fire you because you went to GH1 to be a next TV star, or what?
It was an end to a lot of things that were happening in the background, and I felt like he wanted me to leave long before the GH1 issue came, because if I were to be working for a different organization, they'll even use me as the face of the organization, because they'll realize that now I'm a bit popular. People know me. I have a lot of attention on social media, so they'll even capitalize on that and make me the face. But I felt like he was just looking for a way to let me go. And even a week before the unfortunate incident, I reached out to him and asked him that, do you really want me to go? And he said no. So when the issue just happened, and he used that as a reason, but that was not really the reason. I knew things were not going to.
When you say, do you really want me to go, that means he has told you before that he wants you to leave his company for him. So you were contemplating whether, or am I
He didn't say it categorically, but it was through his actions and inaction. So I felt he wanted me to go, and all that. So sometimes bosses will not tell you to go, but you feel it in their actions. They will not really be responsive. They will be a bit laid back. Things that they used to do for you, they will not be doing it again, and you feel like you just need to go, and that's it.
Interesting. I see. So now you've declined all the offers.
I'm not declining offers. I didn't get any offer. I didn't get any offer.
So okay, so you reconsidered the offers put on your table by Kelvin Taylor and GH1, and decided that in your own interest, you want to leave them as it is.
Yeah.
Interested.
Especially the GH1 one.
Okay.
That was what I.
Especially the GH1 one.
Yeah.
But Kelvin Taylor and Jonya happy.
Oh, not really. I found it risky.
That
That place
risky,
is really risky, so you need to be very careful.
Interesting. What would be advice to people? Before that, SDK, right?
Mm-hmm.
He made a post on his wall that he want people to come to his father's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And Eja, you are the senior editor in the whole world. You wanted to show him how he should write the post.
I didn't
We
want
thought
to.
you send a new.
No, it was just spontaneous. Like when I saw it, I felt like it wasn't formal enough. It wasn't like I wanted to score any cheap points or I wanted attention or clout. When I saw the post, I felt like it wasn't formal, so I just corrected it.
No. Today you tell me which of the posts that is formal and the one that is informal.
He said, come and bury. You don't announce announcements about death and obituaries that way, because you need to use what you call euphemism. So you don't need to just state it bluntly. You need to try to make it look a bit formal. But he said, "Oh, come help me make I bury my dad." No, you don't say that way. So it was like when I saw it, it was just spontaneous. I just wrote it and just moved on. It wasn't like I wanted to write something for people to react to it. But when I wrote it, people just took it. And it's like right now, anything I write on, especially Twitter, anything I write on Twitter, just like people write it, but when I write it, they'll focus on mine because of what happened and all that. So I wasn't trying to make him feel bad about it, but I realized he took my advice and used it.
He took your advice. So
Used
you have
it.
seen that he has given a repost or what?
Yeah,
So why didn't you inbox him privately?
that's why I said it was spontaneous. Spontaneous, you can't. It is just on the spot.
My
Just
dear, the spontaneous thing you're talking about. So that doesn't mean that anything you see, spontaneous action. Hey, then you go and kill somebody today.
no,
You say
no, no, no,
spontaneous.
no, no, no. I said I see a lot of stuff that I ignore. In the past, I would have reacted to it, but what happened? So I see a lot of crazy stuff that I ignore. But I mean, for the SDK one, I know him personally,
Okay, so
so
one no more vibe.
we have that vibe and
But
all
yeah,
that.
what
But
about you
you
some
know
more
that.
vibe?
Yeah, I know
Vibe.
him.
So
Yeah.
next time DM and ask me question ask.
Oh, nah. Yeah, some more.
What is your project for 2022 concerning cyberbullying?
I don't have any project on cyberbullying because the GH1 didn't go through. So,
Okay.
and I don't want to be known as a cyberbully. So, I'll just be, I'll just be doing my thing. Just be focused on my blogging
Mm-hmm.
and look for better opportunities. So that is what I'll be doing.
Interesting, interesting. So, what would be your advice to people who also bully others on social media?
People bully people on social media.
Yes, if you don't bully, people do.
Well, I've not seen it.
You've not
I
seen
think
it.
they share their opinions.
They say their opinions.
And you know, opinions are like noses, so we all have
No.
different sizes. So
Mm.
so I think they just share their opinions. Sometimes it may be harsh, sometimes it may be full of crazy stuff and crazy ideas, but we are all entitled to our opinion. That's why I said Twitter is a different world. Things that you say on Facebook, things that you say on Facebook and just moved on. When you say it on Twitter, it is a bit so. If you are making people feel very bad about things they post on social media, you should just stop and let's move on. But you shouldn't be afraid to share your opinion.
Okay, so before we move away from here, yesterday, our Almighty break the 40s. Eja, Black Star.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Black Star. They really broke their 40. Or they added one to it to make it 41. Please, you made a post.
The fact
What
is
is factual
obvious.
about
It is obvious. Those who do the sports, they know it. And I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to be political or try to slander the political party that is in power right now. But it was just something that I felt like when the MPP is in government,
You failed.
when they're in power, I believe when they're in power, the blaster do not perform so well.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it may be a coincidence or something, but it's just like when they're in power, the blaster fail to perform well. But when the NDC is in power, they perform well. And it is I don't know. It may be coincidence. It may be just something happening, but that is the truth.
On a more serious note, some of the posts that you do make, and though you have seen the first struggle with GH1,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what is coming next.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as possible, we know the ethics of journalism.
Mhm.
Fact alone, right?
Mhm.
So I beg, let's be factual about it, because this particular statement, if they want to take you on for this particular statement, you can't say it's a different world. And I'm also, in fact,
Why is it not a fact?
I have not done my research
Oh, okay.
to see whether it is true that black.
That's why I said
people-
I tweet with a lot of conviction. I don't just tweet because I want attention.
But you know that when let's say you are taken to court, they don't deal with conviction. They deal with evidence, exhibits A and B and C and Q.
And that's why I need to have a conviction. You need to be convinced. You need to know what you are
So,
writing.
but they deal with evidence. They don't rattle their mouth in the courtroom, like assuming. And so when you go, they will tell you, okay, bring your evidence.
But the evidence
Everything
is
should.
based on conviction. No, if you are to present your evidence and you're not convinced and you're not really sure about it, do you think I'm present the evidence?
Mm-mm.
People have evidence, but because lack of conviction, they can't present it and they lose cases. Some people are supposed to win, but they lose it. So it is all about conviction. It's not about convenience. You should be convinced about what you are putting out there. And I know that what I wrote was fact because I know some sport journalists that reached out to me and said it was fact, but it was a bit political. So people will focus on the political aspect of it, but will not focus on the factual aspect of it. So you should just be careful about political issues. So
So
I
will you
think
pull
that
down the post?
no,
Or you
I'll
reframe?
not pull it down. It is on Twitter. I'll not pull it down.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
When I pull it down, it will be a mark of weakness or
Okay,
maybe
okay.
wearing convinced about it. So I think it's a fact. So I'll not pull it down.
Okay. You
It should be
think or
there.
you know or you believe.
I didn't attack anyone.
Okay.
I spoke what I thought was true. So
I'll bet.
we move on.
Where you quite poor and
No.
how they assemble back. Okay. So what will be your final words to Ghanaians and the world at large?
I don't have any final words. What I have to say is share your opinion. Don't be afraid of sharing your opinion. And when you are trying to share your opinion, just make sure you don't step on toes and you don't make people feel very bad about it. But you shouldn't be afraid about sharing your opinions. In our community, they try to tell us that when you're a child, you shouldn't speak when adults are speaking. But I think that is not factual. That is not true. That is not helping us. So as youth, we should speak our opinion, our mind. We should state the fact. We should just state what we feel about situations. So you shouldn't be afraid of anyone. Just speak your fact and make sure it is fact and just move on. Anyway, with that, I think we can push for a positive change.
Oh no, I'm sure. Oh, interesting. It's been nice having you on my show.
I'm happy to be here and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you too.
Uh,
I hope for the best for you in the days ahead. I know that the next time that we hear of Albert, we won't hear of cyberbullying, but we will hear of something that will shake the world.
sure.
I know you have so much in you
Uh,
that it has to come out. I know that you have a kind of zeal, a kind of passion in what you do, but it's incumbent on you to make it international. It's incumbent on you to do the right things and don't be like anyone or all those bloggers. Just be unique. Just be yourself. And I believe that Charlie, the next time we meet on my show again, it will be a different ball game altogether and not cyberbullying nonsense. And I also make that.
No, it's true. That's true. And I wish you also the best of everything that you do. And I hope we shall meet at the other side.
Oh, sharp. Sharp cry, Charlie. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This is Broad Daylight with me, Priscilla Moore. Today, my guest, I had in the studio with me Albert. You say, you're a journalist, Albert. I see Bongo's idea. In fact, Bongo's idea is not Bongo Nevi.
Bongo is every nut is a bongo, natty bongo. So I decided to take the natty and I added a bongo to the idea. So big ideas.
So Bongo means big.
To me, it is big
It is
ideas.
big.
But I mean, in Ghana, people think bongo is like a bongo shoe or a bongo head or something. But I feel like big ideas. That is all. And it was because every nut is a bongo, you know, natty
Okay.
bongo. So that was why I picked it from.
So you can imagine the person I interviewed today. It's called Nathaniel Nuts.
Albert Natai.
Albert Nathaniel. The same name the I say the Hyde. Wow. So Albert Nat Hyde was my guest for today. He's a blogger, a social media enthusiast, and a journalist. We spoke about a lot. I hope you heard from his side upon all the brouhaha that happened last year. And then what's the iffy? The new so that you won't go in here and say yes, see what's it will broad daylight, so the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Follow us on our social media handles. Facebook is CMGA TV, YouTube is CMGA TV, Twitter CMGA TV, and Instagram also on CMGA TV. Log on to our website for more authentic stories. This is cmonline.com.gh, authentic online news portal. What I say? Yeah, the radio so I come on CM Online Radio. Log on and Charlie. with Filius. On another episode of Brother Lights. Stay safe. Bye.